Five. Who are the best and who are the worst NFL teams? It's Mike Gill's Fine Five and Ugly Five on 97.3 ESPN FM, South Jersey's football station.
Yeah, brought to you by Miller Lite. We told you that the Fine Five and the Ugly Five. I think finding five of the worst teams is easy. Finding five of the best teams is getting pretty difficult here. Number 5, worst.
I'm going to go with the Bucs. And I'm going with the Bucs because I'm having trouble putting the Bears and the 49ers on the list this week because they both won. And they both won in convincing manner. So I took the 49ers and the Bears both off the list. So I'm putting the Bucs in. The offense is a disgrace. You lose at home again. Dirk Cutter needs to be fired. That team is ugly.
I've got Denver. I know they won this past week. I don't know what the heck the Jets were doing, but there's still been just an awful season. They drafted a quarterback in the first round a couple of years ago and have barely played him. And they'll probably draft another quarterback in the first round this year. I think they're going to fire their coach, one and done. And their defense that was supposed to be elite is one of the worst in the league. They did win last week, but they're still number 5 in the Ugly Five.
My number 4 team has scored less points than the Broncos this year, Mike. They've scored less points than the Texans have this year with their mess of quarterbacks. I am talking about the Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh.
They are an ugly disaster. The way they got beat by the Bears this week was horrible. I mean, that team is just spiraling out of control at this point.
They're pretty bad. I've got San Francisco. Even though they've won 2 in a row, Garoppolo has won both his games as the starter. Got to give him credit for that. But overall, they're 3-10. They've given up 314 points. They're a minus 86. You know that them and Denver are both a minus 86, right on the nose like that. San Francisco's still a ways off, but they may have found their quarterback. However, they're still number 4 in the Ugly Five.
Mike, my number 3 team is the Giants, mostly because of my disgust with the Colts. At least the Giants found the way to score on Sunday. At least the Giants realized they should fire their head coach and GM as soon as possible. I have to give them credit for that, and that alone.
Yeah, no problem with the Giants being on this list. I've got Indianapolis at number 3. They've lost 4 in a row, 343 points they've given up. Been a lost year out there. They're going to fire their coach. No luck all year long. That was a circus to start the season. And, I mean, really, you realize that team has nothing. Nothing. Zip. 3 in the Ugly Five.
At number 2 for me, I have the Colts. I want to put them at 1. I so want to. But I can't because the Browns have no wins. So I got to put the Colts at 2. Is there a team more inept from a coaching perspective, a talent perspective, a just everything perspective right now?
That team's got nothing going
than the
for
Colts. I mean, the only saving grace they have is that they've won a couple games and the Browns haven't. They were so despicably disgusting on Sunday.
I've got the Giants at 2. Their season's been a disaster. I mean, at least they got everybody out of there. You know, this is how bad the Giants have been. They have yet to score 200 points.
Yeah, they're a 199.
They're a minus 122.
They're sitting right at that line.
Disgrace. Their season has been disgrace. They're number 2.
We both agree Browns are 1, right?
No question.
Yeah.
All right, these are the Fine Five. These are the 5 best teams in the league. This one's tough. I'm interested to see who you went with number 5 because I still have a blank space. I'm literally going to pick this one on the fly.
You know, for me, I don't know about you, Mike, but the top 3 have been easy for the last several weeks. The top 3. It's those last 2 after that I've been fluctuating on. I am going to go all in and say the Jaguars are my number 5 team. The points differential, the win against the Seahawks, toughing up the tough guys in the NFL, the Seahawks. That was a big win for them at home on Sunday. Jaguars at number 5.
You know, I contemplated them. I've contemplated the Rams. I contemplated the Panthers. I contemplated just about any team that's in the playoff mix right now. but I'm going to go with the Saints. I think the Saints probably would have won the game this week if Kamara doesn't get hurt. You can make an argument that once Kamara went out and Ingram was already hurt, that really hurt them. So I'm going to stick with the Saints at plus 107 as the number 5 team in the Fine Five right now, New Orleans.
My number 4 team going back to the NFC is the Vikings. I like the defense. I like the fact that Latavius Murray has finally woken up for the last couple weeks. I like the fact that this is a team. They're winning as a team, and I got to give them credit for that. I'm going Vikings with my number 4.
I got the Vikings too. Anybody that believes in the Vikings should be believing in the Eagles right now. They're very, they both have quarterbacks now that you're questioning the defenses, but Minnesota's defense is a little bit better than Philly's. But last week I had them flip-flopped. I had Minnesota 2 and Philly 3. This week I have jumped over them for home field, and I think if the game's in Philly, Philly wins the game. If I think if the game's in Minnesota, Minnesota wins the game. So for this week, where the current standings, I go Minnesota number 4 in the Fine Five.
I totally agree because I have the Eagles at 3 as well. I think if the Eagles are at home, they beat the Vikings. I think I like the Eagles' running game overall better than the Vikings' running game. To me, that's really the rug. Because to me, Case Keenum, Nick Foles is kind of a wash. Both are very good defenses.
Let me ask you a question about that.
Yeah.
Who do you take, Foles or Keenum?
Just as if I was drafting quarterbacks.
Here's your guy for the season. Have fun. This is the guy you have to. This guy will run your team for a season.
Foles. I like Foles' height. I like his arm strength. I like the fact that he has the ability and he's shown the ability to be explosive. I think Case Keenum is a good game manager. I think he's a very good guy to keep the ship running, but he isn't going to put his foot on the accelerator real hard. I think Nick Foles got that extra gear.
I probably agree. I'd probably go Foles over Keenum. I give Keenum a lot of credit. He's had a phenomenal year. I don't know that he makes a play in January against a playoff defense.
I'll put it this way. I think
not that I think Foles does that either, but if I had to choose between the two.
If I was using an analogy like a car, to me, I look at Case Keenum as like a Honda Civic. The thing will just keep running and won't die. And it's just going to keep going, and it's going to be consistent and get you good gas mileage. I look at a guy like Nick Foles. I don't think he's a Honda Civic. I think he's more like a what's that Kia? That Kia
Optima?
Thank you. The Optima. The Optima's got that sport mode. Kick it to the next gear, go a little faster. So I think Nick Foles is.
All right. They're comparable.
Mike, number 2, I got the Patriots. I didn't like the loss to the Dolphins. Just straight up.
Yeah.
If they want that number 1 spot, they got to beat the Steelers this Sunday.
Yeah, I got New England 2 and Pittsburgh 1. They'll play each other this week, and that could flip-flop next week because, quite frankly, that game's in Pittsburgh. Steelers are probably a slight favorite.
I am like the college football playoff committee. I am setting this up so that if they want the number 1 spot, they can win it to get it.
The same with Philly and Minnesota right now. Philly's 1, Minnesota's 2 in the NFC, so that gives you the slight edge because that game would be in Philadelphia. You got 2 quarterbacks that are kind of, to me, and the funny part is both these guys played for Jeff Fisher and were lousy. Keenum, though, was unacceptably lousy. Not even close to good. Case Keenum was real bad.
Well, think about it. Goff, Keenum, and Foles were all bad under Jeff Fisher.
Yeah.
What does it say about Jeff Fisher?
Oh,
is he a quarterback killer or what?
But Case Keenum...
He almost killed 3 guys' careers.
Case Keenum, by the way, he's 8-3 this year, and that brings his record to 17-18. Right? This shows you how bad that he's been. Last year, 9 touchdowns, 11 interceptions last year. He did not have a very good year last year at all in L.A. The year before that in St. Louis, he was he started 5 games. He went 3-2. Last year he was 4-5. just has not been anything special at all. I mean, he has been pretty mediocre to bad for the most part.
I'm telling you, Jeff Fisher is a quarterback career killer.
Crazy. 18 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
Do not let him near your quarterback, folks.
Keep him away. Sports Bash Live, 97.3 ESPN.